First of all, I would like to welcome everyone who find time to be here this evening. Despite having a hectic week, and you should be refreshing somewhere, but you are here, and so welcome. I'd like to welcome our, first of all, our keynote speaker, Stephen from the ICPSU, and Gordon from ITSSI. We also like to welcome the CEO of Solomon Island Port Authority, Mr. Iranda Kotelawala. Apologies if I mispronounced the name. And your good colleague here. We'd also like to welcome the operations manager of Solomon Island, Mr. Colin Sidimanu. Thanks for being here. And also joining us virtually, we have our friends in Australia. We'd like to welcome the CEO of Icdp, Simone Fensco, and your and amazing staff, Tina and Benjamin. And also, we'd also like to welcome the General Manager of Common Code, Cameron Neal, and your colleague, John. Welcome to this event as well. And last but not least, we'd like to welcome the graduates of the first Pacific Tech Academy workshops in the Solomons. Without you, we would not be able to have this event, and so welcome. Without further ado, let's invite the CEO of Icdp, all the way from Australia, to give her opening remarks, as well as introduction to our event this evening. Simone.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Pacific Tech Academy graduation demonstration session. My name is Simone Pensco, and I'm the Chief Executive of the International Centre for Democratic Partnerships, and I'm really pleased to be here. Pretty disappointed I can't be there in person, but it's the way we are operating at the moment. Firstly, I want to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. I will pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Thank you for taking the time to join us, and congratulations to all of you who are graduating today. I want to take this opportunity to welcome our special guests from the Ministry of Finance and Treasury and ITSE. I also want to acknowledge our collaboration partners, Solomon Airlines and Solomon Ports Authority. Thank you, Aranda and Colin, for your continued support. I want to congratulate our implementation partner, Common Code. Cam and John have been instrumental in establishing the Academy and delivering these workshops. Before I hand back to Brian, I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about the Pacific Connect program. Pacific Connect is an Australian government funded program focusing on Australian Pacific connections for the digital future. Through Pacific Connect, Icdp brings together Pacific business leaders and emerging entrepreneurs with Australian counterparts to deliver locally led solutions to challenges and to create an active network of engaged change makers. We established the Pacific Tech Academy to accelerate the development of Pacific technology and digital skills, jobs, products and businesses. Pacific Connect operates in 6 Pacific countries: Fiji, PNG, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Tonga and Vanuatu. Again, congratulations to those of you who are graduating today. Brian, back to you to introduce the next speaker.
Thank you, Simone. Let's now welcome our first keynote speaker for this evening, Mr. Steve Erakiru from, he's the Deputy Director of Projects from the ICPSU of the Solomon Islands government. Steve, welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so far, I would like to thank Common Code and Icdp for giving me the opportunity to represent our director, Smith, who is on leave and he sends his apologies. So I'm here on his behalf. My role within the unit, the ICPSU, known as ICPSU, we have rebranded ourselves as Solomon Islands Government ICT Services. He is deputy responsible for projects, ICT projects, and also the information systems of Solomon Islands Government. Now, when I received the email from Brian to ask me to give a keynote address to you people. And I thought to myself, what will I tell these people? But it is also a key reminder to ourselves on to always not forget why we do the things we do. For example, why do we spend our time learning all these codes that no one will understand? Yeah. Well, the basic factor of this is, one of the basic reasons for this is we need to adapt to the changes that humans we go through here, from the Stone Age to the information age. We now live in what you will call an information age, yeah? And to adapt and to be able to survive, we need to have the tools, we need to have the skills. Yeah. Solomon Islands and the Pacific Islands in general are not immune to this need to survive. Yeah? Actually, we face or have more gaps and challenges than other countries. So these resources, learning, are important to survive as a country, as individuals at this age, day and age of information technology. Now, I will talk from the perspective of government. What has the government done so far to be able to adapt to the changes of this day? Back in 2011, the cabinet made a decision to centralize all of government ICT services as a way forward to adapting and respond to the changes that we will go through. Yeah? So we have centralized all the data, the network, people, the skills. We also have training programs for officers. All this are making the effort to allow government to change and adapt to current stage in the land. So yeah, we've built a network that has reached both ends of the Solomon Islands, western as far as Shortlands to New Zealand. We've also centralized the government data, most of the government data. But then the key question has come in. What do we do with all this data that we start with? This is why you people can coding of tools that we use to analyze the data and then make informative or accurate decisions to do so. So that is the need, and we asked Brian, what do you want us to talk about? Yeah, because this is a very vast area, this digital skill set. So the response that we have is, oh, let's talk about the opportunities, the challenges that the government has from the government's perspective. Also in Thailand, we have all the data, the network, but then what do we do with it? So the trend we see in terms of coding applications can grow from client server applications to a more GIS-based systems. Yeah? That's the trend that ministries of government in terms of systems. Also, we need to have resources that can allow the government to utilize emerging technologies such as blockchain, yeah, for managing supply chain law, government services, for example, fisheries. They need to track catchment of fish for focusing your spoon or plate. So that's one for a lot example. And with all the data that we have, we need people with skills for doing business intelligence reporting side of coding, business analysis. So these are the growing need in terms of digital skills that the government can carry. for coders, my message flow, short message flow is it is not only important that you know the skill on how to code and how to use the various technologies that are available there, but also be innovative. Yeah? Also, as I've said earlier on, the Solomon Islands government and the Pacific countries, they have actually we face more gaps and we have more challenges. So be innovative in the tools that you design, you develop, so that is feasible, usable, taking into account what the factors also we are spread, yeah, within mass by mass ocean, and that itself can make them connecting the different islands, access to internet, and very challenging. ICT, Solomon Islands government ICT is one of the very few organizations that can manage for connecting not different islands. But no easier. It has taken us almost 7 or 8 years, up to 10 years to reach that stage. So you looking, that's the gap that we faced, one lot gap that we have to address. Develop tools that have also meeting to what not level of the audience will learn. For example, people at the rural areas, they do not have access to this kind of smartphones or smartphone, or let alone be able to buy one of these. So your solution must be innovative that can allow not the users to that level for using for what are using. An example. I will end my little speech before I take up all the time to say that it is never too late to learn. Eh? See my friend here, we attended university, now he's together and now he's bolded, but he's still learning. Same as me, I'm still learning. So without further taking your time, thank you very much. I will now take this.
Thank you very much, Steve. Now we welcome Gordon Denty. He is the Vice President of the IT Society for Solomon Islands. Gordon.
Thank you, Ryan. And thank you, everyone. According to the program that I saw yesterday, I was supposed to be the final speaker, but that's all right. We are here, so let's start. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers of this event, Icdp, partnership with Common Code. I would also like to extend the apologies of our Madam President, who's unable to make it to this event this evening. However, I stand honored to be here this evening as a representative of the IT Society of the Solomon Islands. The IT Society of the Solomon Islands is the premier representing organizations for local ICT professionals. It is a very new organization, but we have this aim and we have this vision to build it and also to build the local capacity. The vision of the society is to guide and promote development of ICT in the Solomon Islands with a mission to maintain the reputability of the society by developing local experts able to provide a quality service and advice to advance ICT in the Solomon Islands. One of the goals of the society is to promote the capacity of local members. And I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the participants who will be receiving their certificates later today. I think it is a milestone, not only for yourselves, not only for this for the society, but also for the country as a whole. The skill set in software development is something that is very lacking, not only here in the Solomon Islands, but in the Pacific as a whole. And there is a growing need here to develop the skill set in software development for local professionals. I would take this time to thank Icdp for what they have done so far, and to say that the establishment of this Pacific Tech Academy is a step in the right direction, and it is definitely something that the IT society is happy with as a positive step. One of the objectives of the society is to liaise with external stakeholders to provide training and capacity building for its members. And I'm happy to say that some of the participants who will be graduating today are actually members of the IT society, and also one of them is an executive member. And I think, as alluded to by my colleague Steve here earlier on, it's never too late to learn. Learning is a continuous process. Even if you think you are old, the art of learning is a continuous process. And the art of software development itself is an exciting art. It is one of the pinnacles, we say, in learning in the ICT sector. Most of the IT professionals, they tend to steer away from software development and go into other aspects of IT, which are a bit not so demanding as software development. But as a software developer myself, I can attest to the fact that software development is an art that is not only for use in computing, but it also as a art that can guide you in your everyday life. It helps in decision making. It keeps you always one step ahead, because that's what you do in coding. You always keep one step ahead in doing a software development, because you have to anticipate the different things that users will do with your software. There is definitely a need for local software developments, and I think that this program is definitely a step in the right direction, and we would like to see that a continuance of this program. Going forward, ITSSI will continue to work with partners to establish relationship with such partners such as Icdp, Common Code, as well as others. ITSSI will also support the establishment of technology hubs, and also will continue to advocate for the capacity building of local talent, as well as promote girls and women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I would lastly, once again, would like to congratulate the graduating participants, and would like to also finally like to give a final word of thanks to the organizers of this event this evening. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, well done. Now we come to the main part of our program, which is to hand out certificates to our graduates. We'll first of all have the operations manager of Solomon Airlines hand out certificates, share a few words, and we'll hand out the certificates for 2 workshops that we've done using their venue up at Henderson. So let's welcome Colin Sigimana, the General Manager of Solomon Airlines.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you for inviting Solomon Airlines to be here this afternoon. Just one slight correction there, Brian. The operations manager is another person. I am the commercial manager. That's all right. And within Solomon Airlines, a lot of the IT functions that we carry out fall mostly within our commercial department, which is, things like the airline reservation system, our online marketing, digital marketing. So we have an in-house team that works on that frontier as well. But we're very happy that when the invitation to host the first ever Pacific Connect digital course was asked of us to host, we immediately said yes. And we hosted the 4 sessions that were run last year, and that is a testament to the fact that the age of digital technology, digital information is very critical and crucial, also in the airline business. And so we have a dedicated in-house team that we want to continuously improve. We have a lot of different software that we engage for our different tasks that we carry out. Interfacing a lot of those softwares as well requires a lot of the skill sets of understanding how you run the software program. But today's business world, you can't go without technology, information technology. Digital technology plays the biggest part in the advancement and development of businesses around the globe. So I've only been allocated 10 minutes. I think I've taken up 5. The next 5 would be for the presentation of certificates. But thank you very much, and I congratulate you guys. And as I said to Brian earlier, I hope he coordinates another session that probably for you is at an advanced level, but for a lot of other interested people, the basic level to start them off somewhere is very important for them. So thank you.
Thank you, Colin. I will hand out the certificates for those who are here. So call it names, hear your name and shout and you can get your certificate. Let's have a socket final. Okay. Here. Ryan Dawn. We have Donald Bennett. Davinia Zeku, she's in Australia. Suzanne Oliviana.
Congratulations.
We have Sejama Tori Bari Polito. The next one is Azinta Pakaya. And last but not least, Julia Anisi. At the workshops at Solomon Airlines, we also do introduction to commerce. And the graduates as follows: Damiano Resu, Mahasi. Isaac Tekulu. Suzanne already on again. We also have Sejama Ferrigari Polito again. And that's all that are present to get the certificates today. Thank you very much, Pauline.
Thank you.
And now we also have the pleasure of welcoming the CEO for Solomon Sports Authority. We did the introduction to JavaScript with ReactJS at the conference room, so we shall invite him to share a few words and present certificates to the participants that attended at the Solomon Sports Authority.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody. And yes, thanks, Brian. Thank you actually for inviting me, and as well as thank you for the invitation from Icdp for this great initiative. Especially Simon, the CEO of Icdp and her team in Canberra, and as well as actually the local representation and officers who are liaising with Icdp and for following up these workshops. I think first of all, I would like to congratulate everybody actually who graduated today in different workshops and different maybe learning platforms of this. Especially, I'm not sure. I think we hosted the JavaScript workshop a couple of weeks ago. Probably there will be many other development platforms. So I mean, even Solomon Airlines were one of the groups there as well. So it's, I think the most important thing is I want to reiterate, some of the experts now just a while ago spoke about the challenges, the benefits of ICT and IT to Solomon Islands, especially to our businesses as well. I think I'm quite thankful actually, the Director for Information and Communication Technology mentioned some of the points, and as well as the IT Society mentioned some of the importance of it. But from a business point of view, I just like to mention some of the challenges and also the opportunities that we have in Solomon, especially looking at the Solomon's ports, the maritime industry as well. Because if you look at the ports, we run a number of softwares. We have our CIO, Mr. Ellison Pade, who has been in the company. So with the migration into lots of new softwares and applications to improve our efficiency of the ports, especially serving our customers in a better way, sending invoices on time, and also our revenue, how we can collect our revenue. For the collection, we need to invoice on time and send it on time, make sure that the invoices are accurate, and then customer queries, complaints. How we handle all these things through certain different software systems, and also the application support. Plus, we're also looking at it very actively now. We are more wired than ever before, especially the ports, the cybersecurity aspects of it, our vulnerability. Who can intrude into our systems and perhaps wipe off all the important data, and then make our business crippled, because we are more wired than ever before. So with all these coming up, there's a number of challenges we face in the maritime setup, and one of the challenges that we still face is the availability of skilled IT technicians and system administrators, application developers, and even support for the application that we run. So this kind of workshops very helpful and for us, locally to develop our talents, and then as we expand in this business, to have our local staff supporting these initiatives in the SOEs. So that's one of the challenges that we face, and also the opportunities we have is as we move on to the future. I believe that IT or ICT is the future of any industry of any country going forward. And it's an opportunity and as well as a challenge, especially the cybersecurity challenges we face. So we need to have some of these cybersecurity experts helping us to make sure that how vulnerable we are we exposed to certain threats, and can you help us? And can you help the organizations to secure our our platforms, our systems, and our information. So these are very important actually for business continuity as well. So these areas we would like to see developing in Solomon Islands. And I think honestly, I mean, pardon my ignorance, today I learned that we have IT society in Solomon, which is fantastic. So I think I would like to see more and more IT personnel, especially developers, whatever form it can be, open source, .NET or Java, where you can, perhaps we develop our skills and talent, and then take the benefits of ICT to far away, I mean, provinces, especially connecting all provinces in Solomon. It's a country scattered with more than 900 islands, and we have our people actually living in different parts of the country. So how do we connect digitally through digital platforms to the center or to the capital, and also how they access information from far away province, rather than actually coming all the way to the capital. And again, like I think the mobile money. So when I was in Africa, Africa is a very big continent, and most of the countries are very big. I mean, in terms of landmass. So they have telemedicine, they have mobile money, and certain things, how when they want money to a different part of the country, somebody actually, one of their relatives, they have this mobile money system that M-Price or something, which has been developed by the Vodafone. So these are very important opportunities. Plus, we also face a number of challenges in this field, and I think probably we are also working with a number of initiatives with James, which is I think heading the Pharma Plus program, and again connecting some of the rural farmers. So through an application of the LCL project that we are doing, which is very actively working and very committed to actually developing this particular application. So these are areas we see that there are opportunities for Solomon Islands, graduates, and also as a future. So rather than actually we look outward for everything, like even application support and then technical support, the implementations, and then maintenance and all that, we actually always look out. So I think it's time to look in the country, who are the qualified ICT professionals where we can obtain the support. I think so I want to thank again for Icdp and the Pacific Connect for such workshops and giving the opportunity for our actually the youth in Honiara and also in Solomon Islands to develop these exciting talents. So that's it. I think I don't want to extend my speech. It's a Friday. Everybody has, I think, graduated and looking forward to a good Friday evening. So I don't want to hold you up here. But while thanking Gabe for the Pacific Connect and all the officials who were really supportive, and the sponsors, and especially congratulating again for the graduates who graduated actually from different workshops. So I would like to say the future is bright for this industry, and because Solomon Islands is a growing nation, the industries are growing, and industries are getting more and more wired. We are getting actually more digitally connected to different parts of the world. So there's lots more opportunities for you to explore. So I believe we can always look in rather than look out for these talents and support from within the Solomon Islands. So with that, I would like to say thank you and have a great day. Thanks.
All right, so we'll call each of the graduates for the JavaScript community the certificates. So first, we will ask Isaac Kapulu. The next one is Damian Orescu. We have David Passegiero. Timothy Sukota. And we also have again Suzanne Orediana. We also have Keith Massey. say German for everybody. And the last but not least is the MC himself. Right. Thank you, Miranda. So we'll move on from the workshops. We've also, before moving into the demo sessions, we'll invite Cameron and John Moss from Common Code to share a few panels from the Pacific Tech Academy.
Hi everyone, it's great to be able to join you from Melbourne. Hi, I'm Cameron, I'm the General Manager of Common Code, and I've just got a big smile on my face being able to see everything that's happening there. I wish that we were able to be there in person. I've spent 4 trips to Honiara now, and it's been difficult to not be able to travel there for the last 12 months or so. But the wonders of technology, we've been able to continue to work with many of you over there, and it's been our pleasure to be able to work with Pacific Connect and with Brian very capably organising these 3 workshops that we've had and a couple of meetups that we've had. And you know, our aspiration with the Pacific Tech Academy, working with Pacific Connect, has been to support not just the development of skills, because I think, as a few people have said, you're never too old to learn, but certainly in software, there is no one has ever finished learning. Like it just continues to evolve and it continues to change all the time. And so, you know, what we like, these workshops are useful to get people started, and congratulations to all the graduates for having the interest and applying themselves to learning. But we're also trying to build a community that can continue to grow and support each other. And you know, it's very encouraging to hear Gordon, Aranda, Steve and Colin all talking about this, the community, the local people, the local capability, and wanting to connect you all to each other so that you can learn together and that you can learn from each other and from what you do. One of the next important steps with the Pacific Academy that we're very interested in is like learning a new language like French is very difficult unless you get to practice. And it's very similar to learning Django and Python or JavaScript or learning to e-commerce. You need to be able to put it into practice. And so what we're very encouraging of, and what we're kind of seeking now, and encourage everyone who's here to put the word out, these graduates that you're seeing, and there's a bunch of other graduates that are not here, you saw the certificates that Brian put aside. What we're looking for now is opportunities for them to work on projects and apply those skills. Aranda mentioned the LCL project with James. Common Code wants to be able to work with local people to be able to work on what evolves there. We've built another product called Together, focused on the Solomon Islands. We want to work with local people to be able to work on that product. But beyond that, as you've kind of flagged, there's lots of opportunities, lots of applications need development. We at Common Code want to be able to support all our graduates to be able to work on actual projects where they get paid to do software development. It's the only way to continue to learn and evolve is to do and to practice. And so we'll just encourage you, after learning about the Pacific Tech Academy, meeting our graduates today, is if you're out there and you're thinking and you hear people talking about how they need applications built, what Aranda just said, let's look local. Let's look for people within the country that have the skills that we can support and that we can use to build the things that we need. And we at Common Code are super excited to be able to support all of our graduates in taking those next steps on their journey. And you know, our ambition is that we would employ people as well to work on it, to work on our stuff as people, you know, skills are developing and that. So we're so very proud of all of our graduates and the learners. We're so privileged to be able to work with Pacific Connect, with Brian, and to work with our partners, Solomon Airlines and Solomon Ports, on delivering these workshops. I'm just going to hand over to John, who's one of our principal developers, just to say a few words.
Hi, thanks, Cam. As Cam was saying, I'm one of the principal developers at Common Code, and I'm also here to represent the delivery team who had the opportunity to present these workshops and work with you all. I wanted to first of all say thank you to those that made it possible, and to those who came along and learned some things. So I think, as Gordon was saying, this is an important step, but it's only the first step. There's so much more we can do. We've got the resources, we've got the LMS, we've got people who are willing, and we've got a clear and obvious need. So I really look forward to supporting those who have graduated already to go on and do their own things, to provide more training sessions to people at all levels, and to hopefully support those who do go through the training to become the trainers the next time round, to help kind of foster the growth of a network of practitioners within the Solomon Islands and beyond. And to kind of highlight that, the next session, or next part we're going to have here, I'd like to introduce a couple of our graduates who are going to talk to you today about the projects that they've been working on since the workshops. So without further ado, I'll hand over to, well, I suspect Brian is going to introduce them, but Sajima and Suzanne, looking forward to seeing what you've been up to.
Thank you, John. We'll first of all invite Sujama, followed by Suzanne, to demo what they've been developing as a result of these workshops. Share screen. Yes. Are you able to see the correct screen?
We can see it here.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sejama. I graduated with a degree in computer science last year, and but learning Django is new to me. I did not learn it in school, so I was like excited. I love programming, so I decided to build a Django app. So I haven't completed it, so I'll go through what I have to do. Okay, so it's a farm locator. So I'll talk about the current situation first. Last year I have been running ICT trainings for farmers in Malaita and Guadalcanal. It's under the ICT project, and I found out that farmers, they always travel long distances to sell their produce. Sometimes farmers are in shortage of planting materials. Sometimes we have food shortages, right? Food shortages due to natural disasters, and people don't know where would they get food from. And then we have Facebook available. We have Facebook available, but most of our farmers, I would say, from what I found out, I would say about 80% of our farmers in Solomon Islands, they are rural farmers, and they don't know how to use Facebook to do their marketing and stuff like that. They don't know how to use Facebook. Yes, that's we have a huge digital gap here in Solomon Islands. So I decided to build this farm locator app. I'll talk about this as we go on. Yes, so this is my proposed solution. It's a farm locator that will show location of the farms, so the contact details, photos of the farms, produce list, what they produce, prices, and also give farming tips. So the technical solution, I used Django. And then because I saw Together, some of the technical solutions from Together, I thought I should build something similar. So I used Django and PostgreSQL to store my data. And now I also used PostGIS. PostGIS supports PostgreSQL in geographic data to hold geographic data. And I used, for Django, I used the config module GeoDjango. And for my maps, I used Leaflet. All this I just named just when I started the workshop in Django. And then I went and did my own research and I came up with this. So yeah, this is the sample of the web app. So what I was thinking is that, as you can see here, I'll just give out the contact details of the farmers. It's still in development mode, so that the farmers, they can be contacted through their mobile phones. People just give them a call, and then they just, because they have their phone number over here. So the farmers could be contacted via their mobile phones instead of going to Facebook. Or I also decided to build a e-commerce site for farmers, but that in Solomon current situation, it won't work. E-commerce sites won't work currently because our farmers, they don't know how to go into using their mobile phones. Most of our farmers here, they have only button phones. They don't have those smartphones and stuff like that, so they cannot go online. So what I decided is I'll get the contacts, the contact numbers, put in the mobile numbers there, which province, giving the details of the province, and the type of farm, whether it's a root crop farm or a food farm or something like that. And then give the name of the farms so that they can be contacted via the mobile phones instead of the farmers going in and then logging in and updating their, uploading their what they sell on Facebook, like Facebook. So I'll be bringing out the farmers, visiting farms, and then giving the details. So when it's still in development mode, I'm planning to include photos also and the prices. So when they click on a particular farm, they'll go and give them show the prices and prices and photos of the farm and stuff like that. So yeah, this is my current solution. Yeah, I'm thinking of just using the phone numbers instead of the farmers using having their own user accounts and they can log in and post it. In Solomon Islands, it don't happen currently because our farmers don't know how to use. We have a huge digital gap, so they won't use this if we do an e-commerce site or something like that. So this is just a preview of it. These are some of the farms I've already visited in the past few months, including last year. This is in Guadalcanal. This is it's mobile responsive also, so you get you see the web through your mobile. And this is the backend. In my backend, I have the database of the name of the farm, location, the village, what ward, the province, the mobile number, who is the manager of the farm, and the farm type. I'm planning to include into the module the photos of the farm and also the prices of the farms, whatever prices and stuff like that. Okay, what I think the application would be, it would be beneficial because it would increase visitations to farms. It would help customers locate farms near them. Ease of looking up produce of each farms. It will promote sharing of planting materials. Sometimes people want to plant taro, but they don't know where to get the planting materials. Yeah? So they can just look up through this site and then see, oh, this guy's taro farmer, maybe he would have some taro suckers. So I would give him a call and then get some planting materials for them. This, in terms of food security, we are looking at a healthy nation food. So and then it would ease ordering farm produce in large quantity. Yeah? If you have a wedding coming up and you don't know where to get your products, where will you get your food from? Eh? If you have a wedding coming up, you just look through this app, get the phone number and call them and say, I want so much bag like this. If he does not have, you can go look up another taro farmer and then ask him again, I want so much bag taro. So that's an example. Okay, and then it would link customers to farms, and also it would promote agro-tourism. It will help, promote promotion of agro-tourism, having people visit other farms just for fun and stuff like that. Okay, some of the challenges I would be facing is registering the farmers. As I said, I cannot get the give user accounts or create accounts for our farmers to register themselves and update the information. I have to go and visit them to get the information, updated information and stuff like that. Because they don't know how to, I would say 80% of the Solomon Island farmers don't know how to use the internet, and also to use, they don't know how to use the internet. We have a huge digital gap, that's what I would say. And then my knowledge in Django, because Django is new to me, so in the process of development, there's some of my challenges. Django being new to me, I would be facing challenges in terms of development of the web application, but it's coming up soon. So lastly, I would like to say thank you to Icdp and Common Code and our facilitator, Brian, for upskilling us. Most of us, we do not, we know how to do some code, some bit of coding, but then the workshop has upgraded us. Just to, like my other two brothers over here said, learning is a lifelong process. So I think like every year we'll be receiving new updates of and new types of programming languages and stuff like that, and new upgrades. So we need to keep updated and keep ourselves updated. If we don't keep ourselves updated, then we'll fall. Okay, I think that's all. I'm talking too much, so
I have a small cabbage farm. I think I'll hook it up on your platform so that anyone in the room who wants to buy cabbage can come directly to me. Thank you. We'll have another presenter, Suzanne. She'll be presenting from her e-commerce project, which is an online store.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you for this opportunity to present this demo, and thank you for the certificates, and thank you, everyone. Okay, yes, it was a great opportunity to have to participate in these courses. So I will present my demonstration is on the e-commerce platform that we've learned, Shopify. So I'm presenting, my company is the Intellectual Solutions Solomon Islands, and I'm presenting the platform that will showcase my consultancy service and online shop. So a bit of a background. I've been working in ICT for 20 years, but with regards to web development and web design, my last time to do a web page was during my final year in 2000. So 20 years I have not been doing any web development or any web design or whatever. I've been doing other ICT roles and have been in the management for 12 years. So I have not touched web designing. So when I saw the e-commerce course, I thought, oh, this would be a great opportunity to go into that. So with my out-of-date knowledge for 20 years and just for one day training, and there I came up with this e-commerce platform. So basically, it's just like, it looks just like a normal web page with a header and a business tagline. So these are all done in the e-commerce platform. And then just the background of the company and the consultancy services that I offer, designing, project management, asset management, because I partner with others, and Microsoft Office application training, IT audit, information audits, SQL consultancy services, some of the services that we offer. Those are the things that I've been engaged on, so I have not developed any web, the reason why I have not been doing any web design. So this is the part of the online shop. Like my other colleague, my other like participant has explained, like here in the Solomon Islands, our local products or whatever we product, we still have problems with the e-commerce in terms of payment system and the service delivery and whatever. But with this platform, these are just samples. With this platform, you can integrate with other platforms, applications that they one that I use is called Obella, where you can integrate with this e-commerce platform to quickly search for products that you would like to sell online. So when you click on those products, you actually shop. You actually shop online with this platform. So these are the samples of the online shopping that you could do. So I have integrated that into my e-commerce platform. And basically, the consultancy service that I provide, I would like to promote as well health and well-being, because we know that when you're too busy with work, you don't look after your health and well-being. But when you get somebody to do the work for you, you have time for yourself. So I'm basically promoting my business, that I can do the job for you so that you can look after your health and well-being. So the page also advertises some of the health and well-being, what do you say? Ideas, quotes, just to help with yourself. I mean, just to help viewers that go to the platform to get some ideas on how to look after yourself. So, and another page is testimonies of my customers that they've been using my services, and I could also put on the platform their testimonies so that others could see the experience that the customers have with my services. So just a footnote, and yeah, so that's basically the short demonstration on the e-commerce platform. It was just a one-day training, but like they say, it's never too old to learn and to learn, get more new knowledge. So with the what I'm happy with is what Common Code has assisted us with my training materials, that we could, even if it's just one day, but we have the materials there that could lead us to other links to further our knowledge. So basically, with that one-day training, it has helped us to, whether we haven't touched something for 20 years, but it has helped us to do something. So with the conclusion on what I've learned, I now can design my very own e-commerce online platform. Shopify, I'm using Shopify. It's a very powerful, fully integrated store, online store. You can use other apps, platforms such as Happy Returns and Obella. There are many that makes it easy to find products to sell online. I just wish in the near future, Solomon Islands could also have this easy service, so that we could also have this, have our products on these platforms. And Trello, a software that you can use to organize your work projects and automate your workflow and track changes. You can buy and sell online. Can integrate with other sales channels such as point of sales, apart from this online shop. And we're designing life much easier with the automated tools, apps, platforms that you could link and integrate with Shopify. So with no experience for 20 years, I could do something. So that means that web designing is becoming much easier. So I think that's it. Next. And I would like to just acknowledge as well Brian for organizing the workshops and doing all the groundwork, Pacific Connect, Digital Skills, Common Code. Thank you very much for these courses. And DFAT for funding these workshops, for the Solomon Airlines and Ports Authority for the venues, and all the trainers, facilitators, and all the participants for the useful discussions and networking that we've been doing throughout the trainings. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Suzanne. That's a wonderful presentation. In fact, we only have time for 2, but I'm sure there are other graduates that have interesting projects. Maybe in the near future, we will see them as they develop and it'll show up. And so I think we've come to the end of the day of our event. And I would like to thank everyone again for your time. I have 2 favors to ask of you before you go. One, we'll all have a group photo, everyone, including the graduates as well. And 2, we have some food and some drinks there. We haven't had any since we come in, so we'll have some of that before you leave. And I'd like, it's been an eventful evening so far. I'd like to thank each and everyone for your time and your presence. Like I've mentioned earlier, you could be somewhere relaxing after a week of hard work, but we choose to be here. So thank you very much. And I'd like to congratulate us, the graduates this evening. With these digital skills, I hope that we put it back into the economy, to the country, to help it grow. And so congratulations to us, the graduates. I'd like to acknowledge as well, to make some acknowledgements here. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge Solomon Airlines for hosting our workshops 1 and 2 and meetups 1 and 2. Thank you so much. Please pass our thanks to your team of management and the CEO. And also Ports Authority, Solomon Airlines Ports Authority for hosting the JavaScript workshop. Thank you very much. And I'd like to also take this time to thank Common Code for coordinating the Pacific Tech Academy and all the workshops that has happened and will happen in the future. And so Common Code, CAM, and team, thank you very much. And I'd like also to thank Icdp for the support and for funding the Pacific Connect program, for which the Pacific Tech Academy is part of. And yeah, and finally, I'd like to thank all the participants. There's more than hundreds of them that registered. If they are to be here today, this room will not fit. And so I'd like to thank them as well for being part of the workshops since October 2020 until this month. And so I think that's all we have for now. I'd like to thank, let me just look through my list in case I've missed someone else. I think that's all I have for now. Once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You all have a good evening.